Hi and hello, Watch fans, and welcome back to Chronopolis Radio, hosted by TRTS with me, Rob Nuds, and of course the friendly neighbourhood jeweller calling in from Amsterdam, Alon Ben Joseph. We are joined by our friend from Dennison, Toby Sutton, the man behind the brand that is the brand behind the names, calling to us from Dubai amidst some tumultuous backdrop. How are you, Toby?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Rob. And Alon, nice talking to you guys. Hopefully see you in Geneva in a couple of weeks.
You know, the funny thing about recording these episodes ahead of time so that there's something for people to listen to while Chronopolis is in action is that we might actually be standing right next to each other as this episode goes out on air. And I hope that's the case because I always enjoy seeing you and seeing the watchers. But for people that haven't seen Dennison before, could you give us a quick rundown of what the brand is and the story so far?
So Dennison, we revived the brand in 2023. Rolex was a very famous case maker with a long history. And we partnered with Emmanuel Guillet, very famous watch designer, and we launched our first collection, the ALD collection, which features lots of stone dials, very 60s inspired. And you may have seen us win recently a GPHG, which was very nice.
Toby, what are you going to surprise us with at Chronopolis as a brand?
So we will be releasing a ALD Mini, which is a mini version of our ALD collection. And what we've developed is a quick release link that attaches, so you can attach two of these minis together. That gives you a dual time. So we'll have a mini dual time. So very cool, very fun. We have 9 different stone dials that will be that you can choose from. The case is in stainless steel, gold PVD, and natural set diamonds. But yeah, a lot of fun. We're looking forward to releasing that.
What made Dennison join Chronopolis this time for their debut?
At Chronopolis, I think mainly the guys behind the show and High Styles. I think we like the idea, the curation of brands. That was pretty much it, to be honest, and something new. So we're looking forward to it.
I wasn't expecting a mini ALD. This has absolutely caught me off guard. I really didn't see that one coming. You're telling me that you can put two of these watch heads together so that you've got two watch heads on the wrist at the same time?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. It's difficult. Yeah, it might sound a bit crazy without seeing it, but you can effectively wear one watch or you can attach two together, and we have like a different strap selection, single leather, double leather. So you can have the mini time only or the mini dual time. So it's a lot of fun.
All right. And we're sticking with the ALD case designed by Emmanuel here, but just in a reduced diameter, right?
Yes, that's right. So I think the case width reduces down to about 23 mm.
Oh, yeah, that is cool. Okay, 23 to people that haven't seen the existing ALD case may sound absolutely minuscule, but remember this is a square cushionish shaped case. Cushion-ish is what I would describe it as. So it's a lovely floating pebble on the wrist. So I think that it will have great presence, and it sounds like a really nice balance. Two watch heads stacked vertically, telling different times on a strap. Okay, consider me intrigued. I am very, very intrigued. Quartz movements, I take it?
Yes, quartz movements, stone dials, and it's kind of the same DNA. What's interesting for us is obviously launching a watch that's mainly targeted to women, and being kind of in the segment that we are at the price point we are. We think there's not many other brands doing this type of watch, so we're quite excited to see the response.
I mean, Scarlett Baker, one of our co-hosts and also a significant operator for High Stout, is a huge fan of Dennison, and especially your recent experiments with animal print on the dial. That's gone down a treat on our sides. I think that what you're doing is exactly what needed to be done by a brand. You hit the ground running with a very unisex model. It's extremely wearable. The lugless case means that it sits comfortably on almost any wrist size or shape as it is. And now a smaller model feels like a natural progression. Clever trick as well, meaning that you can double it up from one 23mm case to two, because I could very much imagine myself wanting to wear a double ALD mini. I could see that.
Well, yes. I mean, like I said, it's kind of primarily aimed at women, but especially with the dual time, I think if you're cool enough, like you are, Rob, you'll be able to pull it off.
Oh, you flatter me. My only question is now, it was always hard deciding between stone dials. I don't know whether it makes it easier to have two to choose or whether it's harder to know what to combine with one another. Oof, I don't know. If you ever figure out that leopard print setting on the dial, let me know, because I might go for full leopard print and a couple of diamond cases just to really push the boat out.
So we're also introducing a new dual time, which we've called the Shades dial, and it's the first time we've introduced indices on a dial, and it features Roman numerals and Arabic numerals, and this beautiful design whereby the half the dial is brushed vertically, and the other half is brushed horizontally. So the color and the dial is always changing in the light. So it's a very dynamic, beautiful dial. And this is it comes in 3 different colors, and it will be paired with our new stainless steel bracelet, which is a pebble link bracelet with concealed clasp, and the design, like, kind of very much the curvature matches the case design. So it's a beautiful bracelet that goes. It's the second bracelet after the mesh, the bark mesh that we introduced last year. This will be our second steel bracelet.
So I've been foolishly dragging my feet on picking up the bark mesh bracelet on the Aventurine dual time in stainless steel. That's my chosen configuration thus far. I think I will have to have one of these in my life, in addition to this double mini, which I'm already in love with. I'm already in love with the idea of it, because that's going to be a wearing experience like few others. But you're telling me that you've already conceived a second bracelet design, a pebble link bracelet. Is this like a beads of rice? Is it multiple components held together by screws or pins and tubes? What's the deal there?
Yes, it's similar to a beads of rice. The links are slightly more uniform, so they don't go so thin in the middle like a typical beads of rice. So
Uh-huh.
it's more of, yeah. We call it a pebble link bracelet, cushion link. It mirrors the design of the case, and that kind of runs all the way through to the clasp. So there's no and it's a butterfly hidden clasp underneath. So it's a very elegant bracelet, fully polished, but very, very elegant at the same time.
I'm overjoyed to hear this. I've been banging on for years about how we have a dearth of creative bracelet design in the industry. And just in fact, a couple of weeks ago, Scarlett and I were talking about the best bracelets in watchmaking. And I think she picked the Ming titanium, and I picked your bark mesh from last year, because I was just amazed that you managed to make something so cool and so robust and elegant fit into the lug space that you had available to you with the ultra slim ALD case. But now to have another one following up, I'm absolutely made up. I can't wait to see it. My bank balance is already annoyed, but it has been annoyed at you ever since you kicked things off. Tell me this, Toby, your watchmaking background, because you've got a long history prior to that as well, but your watchmaking background's primarily in vintage. Did you come into the industry with a similar sensibility to me in regards to what we needed in terms of form cases and bracelets, or did someone bring that information to you and you just grabbed it and ran with it?
I think from my time, working in vintage, you generally see trends before, you see them early, so you can see what's trending, you can see what collectors are looking for, buying. So the kind of the dress watch trend, you could call it, different shapes. Collectors are looking for something that's unusual, different, away from the sports chronograph or the diver watch. It was, yeah, I think, was a trend that I spotted maybe 5, 6 years ago at least, and then I think with Dennison we started 3 years ago. It was kind of perfect timing in a sense, and the stone dials, etc. Yeah, it was timing, and I think that's the kind of link between my background in watches and what you see today.
We are both great fans of quartz, Rob and I, and actually everyone at Team TRTS. And we definitely don't mind that Dennison is quartz only for the time being, because the word elegant has been spread around a lot, which they truly are, the Dennison collections today. Will we ever see a mechanical version?
Possibly one day, but at the moment, there's nothing on the horizon in terms of being mechanical, but that can change quite quickly. But we're for this year, the designs we have are quite experimental. They're we've got some interesting shapes at the moment, and I don't think, in terms of availability of mechanical movements, unless we were to develop something that mirrored the shape of the case, which obviously then would take you into a completely different price bracket. I think quartz fits that. It fits what we need, and effectively we're designing watches from the case and then seeing which movement fits best, which typically will be a quartz.
What is interesting to me about this pathway you started out on is that quartz was obviously the right decision for this model, and it's enabled many more people than probably ever thought they'd be able to own a stone dial at a sub $1,000 price, which is great. But you've also experimented with these stone set cases. You do custom pieces, one-offs, bespoke, and we've seen a lot of them online. We've seen some really creative marquetry on the dial, I guess we would call it, right? Marquetry. So you are pushing the boundaries of what you can do on a quartz platform in a nice direction that all makes sense to people in terms of pricing structure. But by doing so, you're opening up the comfort. You're increasing the comfort level of people paying thousands of dollars for a Dennison. So if you were to do a form movement, for example, a mechanical, and I'm not saying that I think that the brand needs it at all, but I think that you actually have the opportunity there to drop that into the collection at a price point that wouldn't be shocking for anybody, because you've managed to stretch those boundaries already with the gem set cases. Was that in any way a strategy, or has it just worked out kind of nicely for you?
I think the way you describe it, yeah, it kind of proves the point that we do have the market there for a Dennison at a higher price point. I think with a Dennison with diamonds, natural diamonds, obviously high quality, versus a Dennison potentially without diamonds, with a mechanical movement, depending on what it is. I think it's probably still two different types of buyer. So although it's a similar price point, you're probably targeting a slightly different client. But again, it's something. I mean, my background's vintage. I'm all for manual wine movements, and so yeah, I'd like to say it will happen, but at the moment, I think quartz is having a bit of a revival. Obviously, people are looking at the design and shapes of watches. People are valuing the design behind a watch, and not just adding up looking at the movement and determining what the value should be, or the desirability. So yeah, I think at the moment we're riding the quartz wave.
Talking about different calibers, what about different and new case designs?
Yep. So we will, in September, be releasing a new case design for Geneva Watch Days. Prior to that, we have some variations of our current ALD case. So yeah, we've got it's a good lineup for this year. So but you will be seeing different shapes later on in the year.
Curious, last question, and it's a bit of a flippant one, but I always like to ask it. Which watch of the ones you've designed do you wear yourself?
It's a good question. Well, I mean, Emmanuel Giet obviously is the head designer, so I like to put my spin on things every now and again. But to be honest, I think at the moment I'm wearing the wood dial, just ALD time only, which I think was a little bit overlooked when we released it, because that's one of my favorites. It kind of reminds me of the some of the 70s watches that you see from different brands. So yeah, that's my favorite. And actually, it's being discontinued this month. So people will obviously want it more now. It's not available, but yeah.
Is that why you're discontinuing it, or have you run out of wood?
Yeah, exactly. So people have missed out now. They had their chance, but no, it's I think because when we're introducing new variations, new stones, we just, in terms of the capacity and to keep things not to have too many SKUs and too many options, we kind of discontinue some and introduce new ones.
I love that. I think a tight catalog is always preferable, and it reduces the possibility of analysis paralysis, as people say. I'm not so much afraid of that personally, but what I like about having a concise SKU number is that you just control exactly what the brand is presenting when it's being presented, and show through those available models in what direction the brand is going. Will you be selling pieces on the fair? Will people be able to buy watches from Chronopolis directly?
Yes, they will.
This episode is going out as the fair is happening, so if anyone's listening to it while you're making your way round the tables and you fancy getting your hands on one of those last few wood pieces, stop what you're doing and head over to Dennison, say hi to Toby, Stefan and the team, and grab one of those before they are extinct. Toby, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being part of the Chronopolis group and this movement, this incredible new event / brand / happening / revolution that's going on in watchmaking. It's wonderful to have you here leading the charge as always, and we can't wait to spend some time with you in Geneva.